So, speed things up, I graduate school, big into entrepreneurial activity, learned from the guy who kind of taught me some things. I got into real estate, rental property. Didn't have any money to really invest, so I became my own real estate agent. Give you a little side note there, if you become your own real estate agent, you actually make commission from the sale. So there's a type of loan out there, it's called FHA. You can put 3% down on something, and as a real estate agent, you make 3% back on your first transaction with the company. So that's what I did. So it's basically a no money down, no transactions. I got into rental property. It's a 4-unit building. 23 years old. Nobody's ever taught me how to do this stuff. And then even my mentor basically said, hey, you just go do it. You learn. You're going to make many mistakes, but you're going to learn from the School of Hard Knocks. And I did. I mean, I took tenants to court. I'm losing in court. I'm losing money. I'm like, what the heck? This is ridiculous. Why is this? Why don't somebody teach me this type of stuff? There's nobody out there. Even if you go to school and people are teaching you, they never even started a business. So I try a couple different startups. I fail. I spend $100,000 with my buddy. We fail. We get into deep debt with lawyers because we try to create this unique, complicated software program. I spent $60,000 on attorneys, and we didn't make any money. So I'm thinking to myself, man, how are all these people making it? So I finally figure out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring it back to the basics. I'm going to create something so simple, so dumb, that I can talk about with anybody and sell them easily because they need it. So I created a company called Doggy Surprise, all right? I'm a dog lover. I love dogs. So I try to make that part of my life. Doggy Surprise is basically a surprise delivery for your dog, very similar to a bark box. So I went to home shows and whatnot. I started selling this. And when I started realizing what made me successful with this, man, should have known this in the beginning. People started asking me, hey, how do you start a business? What would you do? Should I go to an LLC? What's my exit strategy? What? What are you talking about? You got to start focusing on is there a demand for it? Simplicity. Do you add value? All these little things that I started to realize were so key and so important. Nobody was teaching anybody. So it became successful. People started asking me, and I started thinking to myself, you know what? Now there's demand. People need to learn how to start a business without risking their whole finances, with doing it on the side, with doing it on a part-time, without quitting their job. So I started coaching people, meeting all kinds of entrepreneurs, helping them start their business. You sit down with these people and you sit at a coffee shop and you say, hey man, how do you want to be remembered? What? Yeah, that's your vision of you, and then that's your business. So they have to kind of be in line, right? Yeah, well, geez, all right. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll start to think about how I want to be remembered. That guides them in their business. All right, man, do you have simplicity in your business? How do you sell it? Your logo, your domain, your counting. All this has to be simple. Profit margin, sales strategy, marketing strategy. Break it down because there's only one person that's going to be doing it. It's going to be you. And I started realizing I'm meeting with all these people. And these people are just quitting their corporate jobs, and they just want out. They make great money, $100,000 a year. That's great money, right? So I worked in the corporate world for a little bit too. I wasn't too happy with making great money. Well, it turns out all these entrepreneurs, there's something about them. Now, to understand what an entrepreneur is, they say it's a person who organizes and manages any enterprise, especially a business, usually with considerable initiative and risk. These are risk takers, and they're ready to go for it. They know who they are. Deep down inside, I'm not going to be happy unless I risk it. What I noticed about them is that they were happy. They really were thrilled. Now, they were scared a little bit because nobody's ever, in their community, nobody's in their circle to teach them what to do and how to stay away from danger. And that they were happy. Now, wait a second. They're quitting their $100,000 a year job to start a business that might make $30,000 in the first year. Wait a second. That doesn't make any sense. I was told money equals happiness, right? Well, here's a little statistic. Money increases happiness. There's studies have been done. Money increases happiness until about $75,000 annually. And after that, our emotional well-being doesn't increase with income. Sounds crazy to you.
Sounds accurate.
But it's accurate because happiness, what I just talked about before, the three things that make the happiest people is what? They create. They have ownership, part of a community. Didn't say anything about money, right? That was by research by Nobel laureate psychologist and economist Daniel Kahneman. Studies all around showing that. So money doesn't equal happiness, but it's essential, and I believe you need it to make your dream and reality come true. So what is it? Why are these entrepreneurs happy? Why are these people up here writing books and all that? Why are they happy? It's because every day of their life, they create something. Okay? They're creating contacts. They're creating content. They're creating their life, creating their business way. They're creating incentives and rewards for their people. Every day they're a part of a community. We're up here, we're a part of a community. We get to meet people. We get to go out and we share ideas. We bounce ideas off of them. We're constantly promoting our business and ourselves to try to gain maybe income, and therefore you're kind of helping other people out while you're helping them. That makes happiness. And then ownership. They own their business. They own their time. Now, some business owners, they work in their business. They actually don't own it. They work in it. So they maybe don't own their time, but they own their business. And clarity. That's for damn sure. I believe that the people who are really, really successful are clear about their lives and they're clear about their business. And therefore, there's no indecision. They're decisive.